Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Business Professor Show. J. Mance Gordon here, your host. And what am I going to talk to you about today is the question, why is an MBA valuable? Why does everybody want to go to an MBA program? Well, there's several answers to this in different contexts. So let's get kicked off to start with. Who is the MBA for? Well, the MBA program was designed for people who want to enhance their business practice skills. It's generally for the period in your career where you are going from being a service provider, that is an individual worker, in a business organization to managing others. So you're no longer doing your skill set, and that skill set may be a business skill set. It could be accounting, could be finance, could be something of that nature, or it could be something completely different like engineering or manufacturing or anything of that nature, anything that a business does. At some point in time, you may graduate to the point that you are managing others. And that was the idea of the Masters of Business Administration, because most solid MBA programs want you to have several years of experience before coming back. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Now, the school is primarily focused on the idea that coming out of school, that experience will increase the odds that you'll get jobs with prominent companies, and that will up the reputation of the school, and the cycle goes on and on for improving the reputation and quality of the school, the student body, the money that's coming in, etc. But if you think about it from your perspective, personal perspective, you've been out there in the workforce for a few years, you're wanting to make the jump from being that service practitioner to a manager of others who do whatever you do, or just a general manager in the organization, and you say, well, I need to have a more well-rounded business skill set. Now, if you studied business in undergraduate and you go back to a Master's of Business program, you're going to find that the courses are extremely similar. There is not a great deal of difference between what you studied in undergraduate and graduate school. Sometimes it'll go into a bit more depth. There will oftentimes be more specialized courses than you were allowed to take early on because of the prerequisite nature, or your college or university simply didn't offer those courses. So you've got a little bit of opportunity there to dig deeper into given fields and be more specialized. I'll also say in most quality business programs, there's much more of a focus on group work together, and there's also tends to be a more case-based method or a more analytical method of study. So the research element there, or the applied nature of it, depending on whether it's a more research-focused class or whether it's a more applied-focused class, is there in the MBA program. So some of the learning attributes are better than you'll find in undergraduate, but it also depends on the school you attended undergraduate, which may have a much stronger business program than the master's program you attend. So it all comes down to, once again, the university or school that you select. But with that being said, the benefits again. So you've made that decision. You say, okay, I'm going to jump to be a manager. That's the time to go pursue MBA. Well, increasingly, individuals who go for MBA programs are using the program as a recruiting ground so they can go into different career fields. So it's not just you're leaving your company, you're going to an MBA program, you're either going to go back to that same company, which is a common thing that companies pay for their employees when they're making the move to management to get an MBA, and thus they owe them several years of service. Otherwise, they have to pay them back some portion of the tuition that they paid towards their MBA program. So it kind of locks them in for a period of time. So companies like to do that lots of times to secure their talent there and to improve their talent, their personnel development. But also, lots of times, these individuals are going to other companies. They're going to the MBA program. They've quit their job. The company's not paying for it. They go to an MBA program. They're going to go to a similar field or industry, but hopefully they'll come in at a higher level or at least an increased pay range. And this has been the hallmark of solid MBA programs, that they increase your title and your title and earning power in a given job position. But increasingly, individuals are changing career paths. And this is interesting because individuals are changing to something that they've never done before. They may go from operations to marketing, or marketing to finance, or something of that nature. So that transition, and they're still starting out at higher levels than you'll typically find with individuals coming out of undergraduate or starting out. So even in that scenario, there is a benefit for MBA programs. Now, once again, I'm going to caution you that you need to be in a quality MBA program that has the recruiting power, because that's one of the primary benefits that you're going to get out of the experience. The recruiting power, that is the ability of the school to bring in solid employers, or the reputation of the school, so that when you apply to an employer, that they understand the value and quality of education that you've gotten, so that they can feel confident that who they're hiring is going to be a productive member of their workforce. So again, not all MBA programs have that reputation or strength of credential behind it. So with that being said, there's a ton of value there in terms of changing jobs or careers. Now, if you just want to improve your knowledge, you're in your job and you don't necessarily have a full understanding of the business world, the business environment, different areas or specific areas of business, and you want to improve that knowledge, is an MBA program going to help that? Sure, it will. Is that the most effective means or method of improving your knowledge? Probably not, just by virtue of what you have to give up to get it. That is, you have to leave your job and be involved in it. Now, certainly there are evening MBA programs, there are executive MBA programs and things of that nature that serve a very targeted group, and that makes it so you don't have to leave your job and you can apply much of what you're learning in the job environment as you're learning, but it still requires a lot of effort and time. So what is required to undertake that, the effort, the time, the money that it costs to actually pursue that, oftentimes is inefficient for others. That's one of our core ideas at thebusinessprofessor.com. We can provide that level of instruction and education at almost no cost to individuals who want to improve their knowledge base, to become more proficient in different areas of business practice, such that they're more competent, or confident at least, in their role or position within their organization. And of course, there's always the individual who wants to run their own business and wants to have a full gamut of exposure to the different areas of business practice that are hopefully going to help them be more efficient in starting and growing their business venture once they undertake that. So ultimately, that's what you can expect to get out of an MBA program, why it's valuable. Just the rehash, the transition to higher wage, higher pay in the same industry, changing industries, increasing your confidence about what you know. And like I say, it's an excellent recruiting source if you are using it for that HR function. But when it comes to the particular knowledge aspects, there are other opportunities that you can continue to improve yourself and gain some of those same benefits without pursuing an MBA. So with that being said, I hope you found this discussion somewhat insightful and makes you think a little bit. But I hope to see you around the community sometime soon. Until then, take care. Hello, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the content, and please pardon the interruption. I just want to take a moment to remind you that this is just a small sample of the various resources we have in our academy at thebusinessprofessor.com. We have long-form book summaries, business courses, business and legal templates, a career TV channel, an AI-powered business encyclopedia, recent headlines, and lots of other benefits to explore as well. So please, I hope to see you as a member of the community sometime in the future.